Welcome to ISIS in the Bible, the last fall gathering until the new year, week number 9, royalty. The question for today is, what does royalty mean to you? We went around the room and got some fantastic responses, and like always, when I edit the video, I'll add the responses. So the question for today is, what does royalty mean to you? The implication of the word you is the topic for today. Can you be royalty? What if you were? What does that look like? What would your world look like? Can everyone be royal? So glad you joined us today. So we always talk about what's happening in the sky. Many are going to be celebrating the southern solstice. We should be calling them southern and northern, as it's winter for the north and summer for the south. Just taking a brief look at what this means so that you can see in the yellow, that's the path of the sun, the inner circle, the north circle, and then the outer circle, the southern limit. So right now it's going to be standing still. So in other words, it's traveling for quite a while where it's not moving north or south, or it's so minimal that we don't even realize it. So that's why many people will get the whole effect of the rising of the sun, the sunrise, sunset, in a standstill type of position. Be still, a very interesting concept, because when we're still, we're with pure love. So when we can be still that day, whether you can make it out to see it or not, it's a beautiful thing. So longer days, shorter days, is that all this means? Well, the short answer is no. It's not about longer days and shorter days like Vanessa started alluding to. So no, because what's happening in the stars at these remarkable days is truly important for your royalty. Let's have a look at the alignments of the royal stars at that time in Egypt. So exactly at the winter solstice, which is going to be around the 5:30 a.m., that's the midpoint of the standstill, we have Antares rising in Scorpio, also with Ceres. So people leaving the visible, you'll know that this is part of it, because the sun, Mars, and Ceres going through Scorpio means a lot, right? And Ceres just passed through Antares, one of the royal stars. We're going to be talking a lot more about these royal stars. You got at the top of the chart Regulus, exactly at the southern solstice. You have Aldebaran, the royal star, setting in the west. And of course, you have Fomalhaut at the bottom of the chart, the nativity scene. Don't forget to go look outside tonight, tomorrow, all the way through Christmas to see the nativity scene in the stars, where you'll see the three kings and the bright star Sirius, which represents you spiritually in the night sky around midnight. So this is truly a gateway reminder. And this will be the premise of our discussion today. Remember, don't chase the physical aspects, because it's all in your state of mind and actions. This truly is everyone's journey now as the sun, you, starts heading north. Know that this alignment of the four royal stars is special and does not happen every year. So every year, at the exact solstice, they don't line up like this. This is another sign of the phoenix rising, Mary stepping on the snake, and that November 27th, we entered into the age of Aquarius. It's as it's written in the stars, on the Egyptian walls, and in the Bible. So Scorpio rising is also a Fucus rising. When you come above with your consciousness, the northern constellations start putting into play. So Ophiuchus will be rising. So all the different constellations that are above these, I haven't committed them to memory, but I will make a video on that. So Fucus rising is the serpent bearer separating the snake from eating its tail. So it's important that we understand this and keep that in our state of mind. So Fucus rising is the eagle rising. It's a testament, a head consciousness illumination process. So to be royal, to achieve a state of mind to which academia has called a coronation. But it was not a literal being that was achieving the state of mind. It's about you. So on the Egyptian walls, it's not a king or queen that's getting this coronation. It's you. It says, this says your name here, but you can't put your name there. It's a metaphor. To sit on the throne is a state of mind. Your corona is self-purified in a beautiful cycle we are upon. And you are to know that the self is not the physical body, not that what you see in the mirror, which is made up of your past actions. What you see in the mirror and your current life is made up of your past actions, good and not good, the karmic. But the loving self that achieves the revelation of the same. AI is fantastic. Hey, look at those beautiful images. So let's break down the beautiful meaning of the word coronation. As you can see, coronation is made up of a few beautiful words. Cor means heart, oro means gold, natio means birth, and corona is enlightenment. There's a beautiful scene on the Egyptian walls between two of the temples, which they celebrate a coronation, which is you returning back to Egypt. Ezra and El left Egypt, Exodus, and then comes back. So there's a procession they show on the walls, but that procession isn't a physical procession. It's your procession back to that state of mind, that state of being. So you can start seeing that each letter and groups of letters are really from the Egyptian walls, because that's what this all stems from. So there's an energetic protection or gates that you must pass in order to sit on the throne. We mentioned this briefly in what's happening in the sky. These messages in the sky in astrology and proven by medical astrology are significant for us to focus on. Is it not interesting that the southern solstice is aligned with the royal stars? They're on the cardinal points. So it's important that we keep this state of mind. So in order for you to achieve wisdom, liberation, refuge, and pure love, we have to pass through these gates. And as Vanessa said, these gates are known as the four watchers of the heavens. They're also called the four royal stars. They're the four of the brightest stars in the night sky. You remember the weighing of the heart ceremony, right? This is what this is. When you've achieved royalty, when you've achieved sovereignty, because you've passed the weighing of the heart with both Marys. This is Mary Magdalene and this is Virgin Mary. Nephthys and Isis. Juno and Eris. You've got the crook and the flail. You've got the golden feather from the hawk that showed up today. We're going to talk about that. And here is the four royal stars, the watchers. You've made it past them. You can't get past these gates unless you achieve these states of mind. And these are the states of mind you must achieve. Aquarius, in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, Fomalhaut is self-forgiveness, because Aquarius is John the Baptist. The forgiveness of sins represents emotional healing and the importance of forgiving oneself to move forward spiritually. You can't just forgive others. You got to forgive yourself because you are the outcome of your actions of past lives. This is what's taught on the Egyptian walls. Leo or Regulus. Regulus is the royal star. And Leo, it's compassionate bravery. Symbolizes not just, Leo's not just you're brave. No. You can be brave and walk anywhere you want to go because you're sovereign, you're royal. And the way paves for you. This symbolizes the courage that comes from the heart and the strength found in empathy and compassion. So Scorpio is Antares, Ant Aries, the little head. Aries is the big head, and the little head is the one down below. So transcendent abstinence emphasizes mastery over lower desires and the transformation of physical energy into spiritual growth. And then Taurus, the one across from Scorpio, of course, Regulus is across from Fomalhaut, and Antares is across from Aldebaran. Taurus is the nurturing stability, reflects the grounded, nurturing nature of Taurus, providing support and a solid foundation. So when you are pure and achieve sovereignty, royalty, bravery is inherent. You get to be brave because you know that you are the self-harvester of your own world. So only you appoint yourself as royal. Nobody else does. And you can't go around and say, yeah, I'm royal now, nobody else is. That's not right, because then you can't pass. So those people that claim to be royal, they can't be, because they haven't passed this test. So great karma and forgiveness waits for them, but we have to forgive them, for they not know what they do. So when you check these 4 boxes, you attain refuge with divine love, the divine love within, and your world changes. Everything starts working out for you. Everywhere you go, the way is paved. So the southern solstice, when the sun is at the most southern point in the field where you've wandered away from pure love, coronation is you lighting up your world. You are the only one that can take the throne of your world. Royal and royalty can be interpreted as symbols of inherent power, sovereignty of the self, and the noble aspects of human nature. These also represent the spiritual or moral superiority, earthly power, but to a higher universal order. So royalty denotes individuals who possess exceptional qualities, wisdom, enlightenment, spiritual leadership, or connection with the divine, aka pure love. All right, we're going to jump into what Isis and the Bible Gang have shared. We're going to start off with Marion. Marion, you there? If you can do us the honor of reading this beautiful writing that you found.
I am. You are the very light that welcomes weary travelers, those that have strayed from the path unto the darkness, that fearful unknown. Those journeys walked are the individual steps to walk alone. You had said, all we can is but shine for them, perhaps bright enough to guide them home if they so desire, to feel again source warmth, connected, go now. You had said, be that shining beacon, little bird, fly. Or had you forgotten those questions in the ethereal pool? Remember what it means to play the luminaries. Little bird, don't cry. Next time we meet, it will be I that is holding you. Descending through Cassiopeia's wispy hair strands. Acceleration, lightning speed, quickening pace, leveling out. Slip through even Andromeda's fingertips. What the soul promised on that day. When time herself awoke conscious, that ancient of pacts became broken. The wings removed from both parties, fading memories. Flash, pain, ash, fallen, falling. How long has this gone? Days, weeks, months, countless. Million stars shoot past as if in farewell. Look how bright that one burns, even in its last gasp death throes. Look, still that which is pure, fueling defiantly. All but fumes now, soon to crash as a teardrop in the ocean. Wake, little bird, arise from your slumber. Rest a moment, here within my arms. You are safe. Fear not, little bird, for we have much to accomplish. Remember, it is I that is holding you, as it was when all was one.
That is so beautiful. And now I understand why. You'll see later when I play this video, Marion, why we didn't do it last week and you read it today. Wow, this is pretty wild. Thank you for that. It's so important that we are the ones, we are each individual's sovereign, waiting for our own sovereignty. Sister Elaine shared some beautiful ancient history. This is very fitting with our last week's presentation that we just posted yesterday. You want to take this one away for us, Elaine?
No, it's just where we're going to be tomorrow. I believe Vanessa will be able to add lots more weight to it. But I think I've always believed that Filfa it's a tiny island off the coast, of the southern coast of Malta. And I believe there's unbelievable energy there. You're not allowed to go onto Filfa. It's a protected area. You're not allowed to go within a 1 mile radius of the island. I definitely know Vanessa has so much knowledge on the energy lines, but every picture I have of Filfa has a shine or a light all around it. And I think for me, there's most definitely something there. And where we'll be doing the solstice tomorrow morning, I think it's a very sacred area. But I'm sure Vanessa would be a lot more knowledgeable on this than I am.
Please do chime in, and thank you, Elaine, and please do chime in, Vanessa.
Well, I call it the mothership. It's just the a little island in between the channel between the mother temple of Malta, and it's, as Elaine said, it's very powerful. It used to have a temple on it, and the temples in Malta were guarded by priestesses, and they were very famous in their times, and for being healing priestesses. And the temple was actually designed in worship of Sirius.
Oh, wow.
And there are about 45 other known temples which track the movement of Sirius. So whenever Sirius moved, they built another temple.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is kind of our heritage on the islands was an island of temples, also known as the island of the four winds, of the four directions.
That is really, really interesting, because I've been through my research over the last 8 years, I've often wondered if Sirius is moving amongst the stars, and because I can see it when I look at the Dendrozodiac, that at a certain point it's on the domain of Horus. But anyway, I'll just leave that for another discussion. But wow,
I'll send you the name of a book of this this great astrologist who wrote a whole book on Maltese temples and Sirius, if it interests you.
100%, please. It's my passion. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for inviting your friend, Elaine. This is so awesome.
We're going to get you here sooner or later, Claudio.
I look really forward to it. So you guys are going to be near this, how do you pronounce this? Manjara temple when you, for the solstice tomorrow?
Imnaidra, yes. We go at sunrise, and we gather in meditation, in song, in prayer, within the temple grounds itself.
Beautiful. It's got to have such a law of attraction there, such beautiful vibrations when you go. Man, wish I could be there with you, but I know I will be, because our hearts are connected.
You will be.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is so awesome. And another synchronicity is because last week we talked about how these were old trees, right? If you look at the Hangman 1128, when you start looking at how everything is related, because I did look in your stories and they talked, one of these means giants, the one temple, yes. Right? So the giant, yeah.
In Gozo.
Yeah, beautiful. Sorry?
It's in Gozo, actually. That temple, I believe, is the oldest temple in the world. And the temples that, that Vanessa, that we're going to tomorrow morning, they are older than Stonehenge. They're older than the pyramids. They are actually, I believe, the oldest temples in the world.
100%. We are infinite, so we're always rebuilding them, right? So when we have a phoenix rising, we rebuild the temple. We rebuild this temple, but we also rebuild for our future self, our future generations, the messages we have to leave behind, so that when we fall out of consciousness, that we have a place where we can go to remember. So it's kind of like a message in the bottle that we always leave for ourselves, because we are infinite, and that's the beautiful part. Thank you for that. So I shared this at the last minute. So this is Anthony online talking about, he started talking about the solstice and Egypt, because he's doing this graphic work where he is lining up the stars and in the ages with the whole Egyptian complex, and it's something new. And so I've reviewed it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm placing things on top of it, trying to understand where he's going more and more. But when this was going on, Kat responded, want to see how synchronistic and cool your download was for today's question on royalty. Regulus is the brightest star in the constellation Leo. There's more, but you have to wait till it's shared in the group call. So he was talking about the precession of the equinoxes. As soon as I was reading this, the hawk came and was staring at me. So this is what they're telling you. Okay, no, pay attention. This is important. And then when I went and grabbed this image to bring it into this presentation, he came back right outside my window right here and stared at me. I tried to put my camera on it, but then I call it she took off again. And there is an alignment in my chart when this is happening. So it's also divine. So the synchronicities are increasing. Okay, time for In the Bible. So we promise you that we'll be showing you more proof that the original Bible, the Tanakh, was a significant attempt to translate the messages left by us on Egyptian walls. Here's what we've discovered so far by the ISIS in the Bible gang. So we know that, so the Tanakh is made up of 3 sections, and the first part is what we've worked on. All right, so Torah, law, Genesis is the Seti temple, Exodus is the Komombo temple, Leviticus is the Karnak temple, Numbers is Luxor, and Deuteronomy is Horus. And when you go between the Karnak and Luxor, this is where that avenue of sphinxes is, where you come back. The coronation is there. They have a bunch of people carrying you on this ship, on this boat. But that's not a literal being. It's you coming back. You're carrying yourself. All your people is you. Everybody around you supports you. When you start seeing everybody just helping you, that is the support of you reaching your own temple, reaching your own coronation, reaching your own sovereignty. So it's all there. It's all written on the walls. It's so beautiful. So we won't read through this. We're just showing this for those who want to research this with us. After all, we are the ISIS in the Bible gang, right? So here is just some of the words that I've used using AI and doing many discussions. And this is so after hours and hours and hours of discussion, the summaries of what the Bible version and the temple, what's in there. And then I left also this. Here's a more in-depth comparison of the temples. So I pause here for anybody that wants to read it. Anybody could always reach out, because this is research. We know that the Egyptian walls is the Bible. That's why the word Egypt is in the Bible over 600 times, but we don't see the writings because the writings is about the Egyptian walls. And thanks, Sister Lane, for this one. There's another gem for us. Be still and know that I am God. So you're being told over and over again, you are royal. You are the goddess. You are the chosen one of your own world. As soon as you know that, everybody around you starts supporting you. That's the beautiful thing. From the original Tanakh Hebrew Bible, which was taken from the Egyptian walls, as mentioned, know that you really have to go back in time to get to the truth. This is part of being royal. When you achieve this state of mind, you can sift through the muddy translations. So again, chapters 46:10. A lot of these have put he said and all that. No, it's not there in the original. It's be still. That's when the sun stands still. And know that I, God, I am God, will be exalted among the nations. There's your coronation. I will be exalted in the earth. And this is all just the transliterations. AI is fantastic. It's beautiful. So love, aka the divine feminine, aka mother of God, you is back, and you must wear the crown of your world. Be still and know this. So although going outside and witnessing the corona rising in the east or setting in the west is a beautiful ritual, if you miss it, you only miss the visible ritual. What matters most is that you keep this message in mind at all times, and you will always be present in the presence of love. I just have this short little video that we put together called Flighting for Me. Hope you enjoy it.
Is willing to
I just wanted to say that I love the fact that you said that the Egyptian walls is the Bible.
Yeah.
Because I recently kind of came across this thing that the whole Bible is written in code, and the 12 disciples are the 12 zodiac signs.
Mhm.
Jesus was the Son of God. It's the Sun, S-U-N, Ra.
Yeah.
And the Virgin Mary is Virgo, who holds the sun in her womb to be born again in Aries. Mary had a little lamb.
Yep.
And Amen, the Son of God. It's all astro-theology, isn't it?
It is.
Yep.
It 100% is. It 100%
so-
is. Yeah. It's,
Anyway, that's what I wanted to share because it really struck a chord.
and that's all we have for today.